Hello, everybody. Oh, that's not worked well, has it? I thought I would move my microphone position and now it's in the bloody big shadow. Now it's bloody bright. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Friday Night Live. That's not what it's called, is it? It's Fishy Business. Welcome back to Fishy Business. That's going to annoy me greatly, so let me see what I can do about moving this out of the way. We're all professionals here, honest stuff. That looks ridiculous. One day I'll start a stream and it'll all be well and everything will work just as intended. What if I do kind of sit like this? Does this kind of work? Kind of. Is that better? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Who knows? Loud and clear, loud and clear. So, who have we got in? We have... What does that say? Vin Sharkey from Sheffield. Hello from Sheffield as well. We've got GB's in. Ross Hale from a rather pleasant, weather-wise, Edinburgh. Yes, I've had a t-shirt on all the... Well, I've not changed into my merch, so unprofessional. I've had a t-shirt on all day today because it's been nice and balmy here in Sheffield. Kaylee says, good evening all. Freshwater Ichthyology says hello. Amazon Research Centre for Ornamental Fishes. Hello there. Oh, Dr. Awesome all the way from, I don't know, you might not be, all the way from anywhere weird. Hi Rebecca, listening and working right now, trying to clear out all the aquarium junk I've accumulated over the past few years. Rebecca is still marking undergraduate work, at least no more plant biology marking for the rest of the year. Well, blessings be. Humble Crumble says hello. Dangerous Dan, evening. Stuart is in. Hello all. And Gordon, hello. From a dry and sunny Wolverhampton. Silver Surfer's in, as is Mark, Martin, Sharpies Fishing Phantoms, a warm and dry Norfolk. Hello from Sweden, says Hans. Right. Scott's in. Evening all. We've got, what is he saying? Partly lurking today. Oh, so someone else might have a chance of a win on the quiz. That's what we want. We will have the quiz tonight, approximately 10 p.m. I might try and do it a little bit earlier this time. Because sometimes after I've had 2 or 3 beers, it doesn't go quite as swimmingly as it should do. But for tonight's delectations, we have a new one. This is the Attic Brew Co. Signals IPA. Signals. I picked mainly on the can. Looks nice. I'll have one of them. It's meant to be a fruity hazy IPA, which are all my favourite things. Another newbie. We have the Aztec Mountain IPA from Mad Squirrel. I have had this one before. Not on stream, I don't think. But I quite like that. Then we have the old favourite. Crazy Haze from good old Lille. I thought they discontinued this. I was in a bit of a hump because they didn't have it in my normal Lidl. They were like, yeah, I've stopped doing it, mate. I was like, what? Why did nobody tell me of this? And then my still current favourite, Heathen from Northern Monk. If anyone from Northern Monk is listening and wants to sponsor a small streamer, get in touch. LL Cool J's in. Wow, we've got all the stars here. Let's give the old fart. I'll have you know I'm but a child. What do you think of the new camera angle? I tried to move this out of the way so as you could see the fish tanks, and now it's just kind of getting in the way of the light, which is annoying me greatly, but we'll see how we can get on. Loud and clear, says Kelly, thank you. Phil's in. Hello, Phil. I saw your message earlier. I will respond. You can see and hear me. That's what we want. Evening, mate. How are you? How am I? I shall crack open my first beer. What shall we start with? I think we'll start with the new one. And then if it's disgusting, we can wash it down with the old ones. We'll start with the Attic Brew Company's Signals IPA. 5.6%. I'm tired. I've been off this week, and I'm more tired than I would have been if I'd been at work. So I've had the week off. I've been up to Scotland and back again. I came back yesterday. But I stayed at my mum and dad's in the smallest bed. I mean, it's just because I am a large chap, and these days I prefer a larger bed. But I was in bits. My back was killing me. Didn't sleep any. Drove, obviously, 4 hours to get up there, and near enough 6 to get back down again. So, yes, I had a day of doing pretty much nothing. I've kind of escaped this tank a little bit. That's what I've mostly done today. I've changed the light on this tank to that light, which I like a little bit better. I've tidied up round here a little bit, and that's about all I've done really. I've prepared the quiz. I was quite pleased with myself. I got that done in advance. And that's what it looks like in an Aquarium Adventures tankard. So, mostly, I'm fine. I'm glad I've not been at work. It's all kicked off at work this week, so I'm glad I wasn't there to see any of it. Or deal with any of it. Almost no smell. Which is a good thing, I think. Very pleasant. That might be a contender. Very light. Not too fizzy, not too gassy. Zero aftertaste. Lovely. So we'll have some of that. Visio and Audible. Audio video, good day, that's good. Benjamin Bernard, good evening from Wales. Hello there. Derek from Great Yarmouth. Hello from Nairobi, Kenya. Really, Simon? Wow. Zed Aquatics is here. Who else have we got? Derek says hello. Silver Croc Aquatics is here. Happy Polyologies. No problem. Welcome one and all. So, grab your tasty beverage. Tasty beverage? Refreshing beverage. Tasty snack. That's what we go with. We'll get the admin out of the way. We will be aiming to do the quiz. The quiz will have a prize. The prize will be sent to you if you live in the UK. If not, you nominate someone in the UK to receive your prize. Or maybe we roll it forward and do 2 prizes next week. Who knows? That'll be around 10 o'clock. It's a mixture of fishy and non-fishy quiz questions. Maybe a slight Easter themed, what with it being Good Friday this week. Until then, if you have any questions at all you want to ask me about recent videos, about the general state of the world, any goings on, tell me what you're been up to this week, what you're getting up to this weekend. Let me know in the chat, in the comments. If you have a question, please use the word question within your question, and then I will see your question. I know I used the word question far too many times there, but it does help me see things, because the chat moves quite fast. It has a mind of its own sometimes, and I don't always see everything, so it kind of skips all over the place. But if you type question in your question, it kind of flashes up yellow, so I see it a bit better. If you're here on replay and you're thinking, I'm not going to sit through 2 hours of this nonsense, I have a second channel for you, so you can get out of here right now, go and subscribe to my second channel. Link will be in description as soon as I remember to find my link. Where was it again? Bear with me. There you go. Paste. There. That doesn't look like the right link. Well, a link to something has now been posted into the chat. But if you search Aquarium Adventures Clips and you see a channel with my mug on the front of it, it's probably that. There I will upload the quiz, any tangents we get onto, specific questions, all that kind of thing, and you don't have to sit through 2 hours of waffle and me going, is that light right? Oh, the microphone's kind of in the way. Just the good stuff. good stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I want your questions. I want to hear what you're on about. If you are here for the first time ever, please consider clicking that subscribe button down there. If you want to click any of the other links, there's probably a join button. There's probably all kinds of things. If there's something you can click, give it a click. If nothing else, go and watch one of the videos. So, like I say, my week this week has been spent mostly driving. But when we did get to Glasgow, we had a wee day out going round one of the museums because we were looking for something to do. It was a bit of a rainy day. We had some stuff to kill some time, so we went into Glasgow and went to Glasgow Uni, and one of the buildings there was called the Graham Kerr building. Can I show this? I'm pretty sure. Oh, Discord. Ding. I shared all this on Discord, so if you're not on Discord, you won't have seen this, and if you are on Discord, you might have already seen it, so I'm going to bore you with it now. But open in Bruiser, move Bruiser, small face. Look, there's me. Oh, now I've lost the chat. That's me. Why is that so low down? No, I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, for God's sake. That's the zoology building at Glasgow Uni, and if you could, can I zoom in on that a wee bit? There you go. They spelt my name wrong, but that's the Graham Kerr building, which hosts a wee museum that has things like, can I show you? This is what I imagine freshwater ichthyology gets up to on a day-to-day basis. Just happen to have things like this. So this is a Senegal bicher. What was the other one? There was a lungfish, I think, was one of them. Tons of them. Some of them were really old. Some of them were fairly recent, like 1960s and stuff. So I think this one was from like turn of the century or something like that. But there was all kinds of ones in there. So we got to go and take the family around and show them some fishy stuff, and God, they were almost interested as well in some of it. But there's loads of things. If you're visiting Glasgow and you fancy a day out in the rain, I would recommend that. So you've got the Kelvin Grove Museum, Art Museum, Science and Nature Museum. There's Hunterian, something like that. All kinds of good stuff. So we spent a good morning in there going around all the stuff, checking out all the bones. And did you know how big narwhals were? You know narwhals, like sea unicorns for the big things? My God, they had a narwhal tusk in there, and it must have been about 10 feet long, if not more. And everything was like, none of it was behind glass cages or anything. I mean, it was weird. It was, oh, look, I can touch it, I can feel it, I can move it around. So it was a great day out. So that was mostly what I was doing this week. I wanted to go to a couple of fish shops, we just didn't get a chance. So that was my fishy experience for this week, was that I have then come home and played with my fish tanks here, obviously, and moved things around and tarted them up a little bit. They're looking pretty good, I think. I don't think I can get the GoPro working because of what I've done with it, completely honest. So you'll just have to trust me. I'll do a video on them at some point, you'll get to see them. But they're looking much better. I've put a background on this tank, so like a vinyl background on there. Added a load of plants, a load of extra substrate, some rocks and wood. And at the moment I've just got these pearl danios. You know, the ones I thought were celestial pearl danios when I bought them at the auction. Turns out all the fish I bought at the auction were not the fish I thought I was buying at the auction. But I'm kind of liking them. They're colouring up pretty cool. So we'll maybe do a video on them soon. Afternoon from Oswego, says Christine. Humble Crump says, how's the snakehead doing? He's doing good. I've done a bit of an upgrade as well to the fish room. That's another thing I've done today. No fishy upgrades. I've beautified the wall a little by hanging some fake plants and stuff. Made it look a little bit better. But yeah, he's doing well. I still want to add more fish to the mega tank. That's the only thing The longer I leave it, there's getting more and more little bouts of aggression between the snakehead and the tilapia that's in there at the moment. I think I just need to add more fish in there. So I'm kind of caught between, do I go out and buy a few bigger fish, or do I just risk it and get the Oscars in there and try and make it last a few more weeks and bulk them up a little bit more? Or put the Oscars in and a few more hides, so they've got places to get out of the line of fire, so to speak. So there's that's going on. Andrew says, I've just ordered a load of Origin food. What's people's option? Is that what that says? What? Just ordered a load of Origin food. What's people's option on this? Is that meant to be opinion? Origin food. I have no option or opinion. Origin fish food. Ooh. I must confess, I've never heard of Origin fish food before. Is it this stuff? My opinion is it's quite expensive. So never tried it. I don't know. Like the artwork, but yeah, maybe I shall get some and try it, and then tell you. But no, I've never tried it. So if anyone's tried it, let us know in chat. Brian's in. It said, Aquatics question, I copied you and bought a nice group of Congos, but I can't get the little gits to eat voraciously. Do you just feed flake? Not just flake, but they do eat pretty much everything. I don't feed the Congos specifically, I just feed the tank, so it's generally my soft Artemia food is the main thing that I'm putting in there, but also my bug flake. I also do some of the Fluval bug bites, just because Fluval sent me a load of Fluval bug bites, so I've been feeding that recently. What else do I feed in there? Oh, I've got a cichlid trio formula or duo formula, I can't remember what it is, but I've been trying that out. Results are varying, but yeah, they feed on everything. Certainly the flake they go for, certainly the soft Artemia they go for, so this isn't just me saying, buy my food, they'll go for that. But generally, they'll have a pretty good go at everything. How many did you get? That might be the thing, because I couldn't describe them as anything other than voracious feeders, and I do have quite a lot of them, so I think I've got like 20, 25, something like that, and they definitely swarm round and feed voraciously, as you say. I did have them a long time ago. I had them a couple of times, but I had like groups of 6, and I just remember being really disappointed with them, like thinking, these are a bit crap, these. I think I had females because the males are a lot more finny and showy and just more spectacular. The females are just a little bit more muted than that, so I kind of didn't like them because of that, and they didn't feed overly. They fed, they were fine, I had them for years, but it's just a completely different experience since having them in a bigger group. Like I say, I've got kind of 25 of them, I think. So buy more. That's always my suggestion for everything. Pardon me. Did you find your drink spreadsheet? I did not. I think I might have done it on one of my work laptops, which has since gone to work laptop heaven. But I've still got the disc for that. I wonder if it's on there actually. It's over there, that's why I'm looking there. But no, I might just recreate it. I need to look back, because I remember showing it on screen on one of my live streams. So I might just pick it up from there and add to it and finish it. My drink spreadsheet this is all an experiment. So for those of you who are new here, all these weird beers, 6 months ago, I'd have been like, bleh, yuck, horrible. And some of them I still am like that, but there's a few that I've tried recently like this. As you can see, it's going down a treat. It's delicious. I've loved this kind of stuff, and I wouldn't have 6 months ago. So I've been trying to try all these craft beers and weird beers, as I've been calling them. And I kept a spreadsheet to see which ones I liked more than others. So I know I don't like stouts, porters, things like that. But the hazy IPA is definitely the winner for me. Hazy IPAs with a hint of fruit. I'm all over that. Yum, yum, yum. Vague ingredient. Oh, right, so the origin stuff. I should have just looked at that, I suppose. Let's see. So, for instance, what would I feed? Right, there's one with a picture of a discus on it. It's a colour food. Designed for those shellfish that need the protein. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so yes, vague. So that's not really an ingredients list. The ingredients list is this: fish meal, krill meal, soy meal, wheat gluten, poultry meal, low ash content. So I prefer it when you see those things listed as a percentage, because you think, oh, fish meal, krill meal, well, that'll be good, but they could be like 1% of what's making up this, and it's just some kind of random thing giving you your protein. So the values are fine. 52% is not particularly high protein, but I do think that is a good marker if you're kind of hitting that 50% there or thereabouts. It starts to lose the value proposition is not quite as good if you're going over 50% protein, because yes, it might be great to have 80% protein, but if you can't process that much protein, then it doesn't make sense. That is a colorant, so that's what makes things go red. So is there anything in there? What I like to see is, it's fine if you want to include a colorant in there, but that's going to turn things red. So if you have white fish, yellow fish, any paler fish, and you feed that, you're going to have orange fish. So white fish will go yellow or orange or pink. Yellow fish will go red. I've seen that over and over and over again in the discus world. We're like, I've got this lovely white platinum fish. I fed it this food and now it's this weird colour. So that's why that happens. There's another. So 2 colorants in there. Lysine, carnitine. One of them's not good, but I could be reading that wrong. But there's nothing in there that you wouldn't find in most fish foods. So I don't know. The fish are, so it's well worth it. If you ever want a trip up to Glasgow, go and visit Glasgow Uni and go have a look around, because it's literally the uni. So it's lecture hall, museum, lecture hall, museum. Buildings after buildings have their own little exhibits going on. There was a whole thing, I wish I'd read it properly. I meant to take a picture of it so I could research it more. About a study in fish hearing and how. I won't even talk about this. I'll cock it all up. I'll figure it out and we might talk about it another time. But yeah, literally there was shelves and shelves of fish on display in jars like that. And I obviously did my own joke every time. So Rebecca posts her fish on Facebook saying, I'm studying this today. And I was going, oh, tank's too small. Ha ha ha. Comedy genius. I was doing that in there as well. Nobody liked it there either. I might have to just stop making that joke. Yeah, we know where you're going on holiday this year. Definitely. And everyone's been so helpful. It was quite well staffed for a... So that it was a No, what day was it? It was a Tuesday. Was it a Tuesday or a Wednesday? Anyway, midweek, randomly, loads of people there, just kicking about, students, lecturers, whatever they may be. Can I help you with anything? Do you want to see anything else? We've got this over here. That's quite cool. Go and look at that. And little games for the kids and all that kind of stuff. We'll go around and find this, go that, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I was well impressed. Made me think, I wish I'd gone to uni. I was going to go to Strathclyde Uni, not Glasgow, but, you know. ASMR says hello from Serbia. Hello. Megatank needs more Plex appeal. I don't think I'm going to go with Plex for Mega Tank. My worrying thing about Plex is if they take a liking to the liquid rubber that I've used to seal the tank, it doesn't need any assistance to leak, so I don't want to give it any more chances to leak. So we'll see. I'm thinking, my idea was to have Oscars in there, like a school of Oscars. Maybe silver dollars, something along those lines. Just something that can be basically use what would be a big centerpiece fish as effectively a dither fish in a tank that size. Hello from the US, says James Handy. If we're talking fish food, it's just a coincidence that after giving my rice fish the Aquarium Adventure Soft Artemia this week, they've only gone and spawned. Excellent! I mean, I would say this, but I think it is a fantastic food. I don't make it or anything, I just sell it, but it's great food for conditioning fish. Nabokov fan says, hello, Crowntail Half Moon, happy Good Friday. Yes, it is Good Friday, so we'll have the quiz in a little while, and there might even be some Easter questions, so if you want to bone up, now's the chance. Aquarium Daily, I was all ready to watch, and then forgot watching something. I do the same thing myself. I'm like, sat here going, right, I'm going to live stream tonight at 9 o'clock. Must make sure, it's 9:05. Let's go. I keep thinking, I'll do like a script or at least some topics to discuss. And I don't know how it happens. Every week it sneaks up on me like, I didn't know this was going to happen. No, what am I going to do? I need to have more people. Does anybody want to co-host this with me? Any other YouTubers out there want to help me out for this? Because a lot of the time I'm thinking, what am I going to talk about? No, I meant to do a thing and didn't do a thing. So maybe we'll have some guests on. I noticed Aquarium Daily's podcast live stream. You have a few people on there as well. So is it StreamYard that you use? That seems quite easy for people to join in, and it does all the gubbins for you. Would you like to have this as more of an interactive type of? Maybe we'll try that for a few Fridays to see if it helps getting some people in. Opinion. Well, I read between the autocorrects. Soft Artemia sold. Yes, well, as you are a member, if you're a hero member, you get 10% off anything at Aquarium Adventure. Shell. Anything on aquariumadventure.co.uk, fish foods, merch, that kind of thing. 10% off for any hero members. Or, if you're a quiz winner, so when the quiz comes round, I'll send you some. So if you want some soft Artemia as your prize, I'll send you some of that. And freshwater ichthyology, I need some more freeze-dried fish foods. You might win the quiz tonight. Who knows? I'll send you some. Silver Creek is still drinking Deep Elm IPA. That's not one I know about. Look at that. Look how quickly that's gone down. Yum, yum, yum. Chris Cook, you will remember him from tank disaster fame. An update on the busted tank situation. The solution from OA is to send a new tank. Has been from a week after I was told 2 weeks turnaround. How many weeks are we in? Oh, that's not good. I've been told it will be delivered on a pallet next Friday. My tank's is an OA tank, and I don't want just to say this to rub it in, but mine's is great. Love it. It's fantastic. I wonder. Mine did come with a thing that said, please don't fill this for another week to allow it to cure properly, something like that. I'm going to go for the Mad Squirrel, for those keeping score. Mad Squirrel Aztec Mountain IPA. I need to check my timeline, but there was something along the lines of, we've got such a high volume of orders that we've started shipping tanks before they've cured properly, and I did think at the time going, me filling it is going to be as much of a problem as it being shipped and handled in transit and things like that. If it's not cured, why are you shipping it, type of thing. But touch wood, no problems for me so far. But yeah, that's not good. If we're now in April and it was January when your tank burst, and they've still not sorted it out for you. Did you get any other compensation? Because I'm imagining you had quite a few fish losses as well. Ash is actually good for essential. So ash being listed as an ingredient in most fish foods, a lot of people are like, ugh, well, it's just a filler. And to be fair, it is just a filler. But you're right, it does have a lot of value. So as long as you're not like 80% ash, 10% fish meal, 10% such and such, you know what I mean? Don't be put off by just because something has ash in it doesn't mean, I almost said just because something's got hash in it doesn't mean it's bad. Just because something's got ash in it doesn't mean it's bad. Oh man, Aquarium Adventures Northern Monk has one called Faith, a hazy pale. Should be wonderful and light. I have had Faith. It's alright. So this is what one's this? This is the Aztec from Mountain IPA. So you can see there's a running theme, not being able to see through your beer. That's the kind of thing I like. Faith is a little bit lighter than that. And I liked it and all, but this is my favourite of all the Northern Monks ones. There's like a one-off, it's like a special that they've got going on at the moment. That was quite nice as well, but didn't have any left. But yeah, the Faith ones, it's quite good and not as strong. So one of the problems with this one is it's like 8%, is it? 7.2% alcohol. Welcome to the Beer and Fish podcast. 7.2% alcohol, so you're like, oh, this is lovely, yum 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 yum, blah, blah. Paralytic after 3 cans. So Faith, I think, is more like a 5% one. Ewan McGalliard says, I'm watching your stream with my 10-year-old daughter. I'm not drinking at all. She wants to know what your favourite community fish is. Hello, Molly. Well, my favourite community fish would probably be guppies or endlers. And the reason I like them is because they're kind of a go-to fish for what can I keep with bleh. So whatever bleh is, guppies and endlers are usually a good solution. They add loads of colour, loads of movement to any fish tank. They're not aggressive. They don't upset any other fish. They're not compatible if the other fish is a bit of a naughty fish and likes to nip fins and things like that, then it might not be a good idea. But for most things, they're great. So just to have them as a community, they look nice and they move a lot, thumbs up. But they also are prolific breeders, so they breed really easily without you having to do anything special. You don't need to mess with your water parameters, you don't need to add special foods or change the water parameters in any way whatsoever. They'll just have fish, have water, you will get babies. And that's really cool to watch. So when you get to see little tiny fry appearing, you get to see that whole life cycle of the fish, and then you can try and play God a little bit, even saying, right, okay, I'm going to add some more plants to this tank to give them a better chance of survival, and you can up the survival rate of your fry. Or you might start separating them into different colours and saying, right, I'm going to have all my red guppies breeding in this tank and breed new strains and create new things and see what happens. And it's so quick, so in a matter of weeks you can get through multiple generations and you can see all that happening right in front of your eyes. So that's what makes them my favourite community fish. And endlers and guppies, I'm kind of lumping them into the same thing together. But I would definitely go with that. In terms of my favourite fish, and this is kind of a community, it's obviously discus are objectively the best fish ever. They're the most beautiful fish, they're the kings of the freshwater aquarium, and you can have them in a community tank because you can have lots of other fish around there. But it's a little bit more involved and a little bit more expensive, and you need bigger tanks, and you need lots of heat, which is not good these days because electricity costs a lot of money. So that would be my favourite. But other than that, guppies and endlers. Hope that helps. Northern Star. Oh, I want to try that one. Biscuit porters. I'm not a fan of porters at all. Best of the dark beers. Yeah, dark beer, dark schmear. QC Aquaholic. Hey y'all. Hello there. Is Glasgow nice for holidays? I hear it's nicer than Edinburgh. As a proud Glaswegian, yes, it is. I think the good thing about it is Edinburgh's only 25 minutes away on a train, so you can experience both. I would say Glasgow is nicer. Let's say the people are friendlier. There's obviously lots of tourist attractions in Edinburgh, so they've got a castle. We've got castles as well, which is not quite as big. The Royal Mile, all that kind of stuff. So Edinburgh's Scott Monument, you can go and look at all that kind of stuff. But I think Glasgow is more... What's the word I'm trying? Is it more of a metropolitan? No, it's... No. They've both got good things to offer. I'm biased because I'm from Glasgow. I would say Glasgow... they've got cooler things there. I almost made a comparison with London, say, but no, it's not like that at all. Yeah, it's definitely worth the visit, if nothing else. A long weekend, something like that, you can do. You couldn't go far wrong with that. Brian says Glasgow's friendlier than Edinburgh. Yeah, but again, I am very biased. Only problem with Glasgow are the smiles and Ouija's, and don't wear green or black. I don't think that's a thing anymore. My first house that I had, I'm a blue, and I shared with a green. Was one of my best friends when I was younger, so it's just not a thing anymore. The blue or the green is referring to football or soccer for my American friends. The Rangers and the Celtic, who were fierce rivals, and always will be, but it used to be very, very fierce and violent. But I don't think that's as bad these days. QC Alcoholic says, I can always talk about JCVD movies. Well, if you want, yes, we can talk about that. StreamYard, you can just link people to it. It's what I used with streaming with Alyssa. Yes. Right, so the StreamYard thing. Yeah, I noticed that they were saying, if you want to join the stream, just click this link. And I thought, that sounds quite easy. Maybe I should do something like that. I just always thought StreamYard was a bit more of a noddy thing, and it seems to be coming on in bounds and more people are using it, so I might look into it again. I use OBS to stream, and it's just, as you will have noticed with many of my streams, it's quite a technical challenge sometimes to get it to work as you expect it to work. That's nice as well. These are all lovely. Multitasking like a boss. Grilling, painting, editing, love it. Feed me more life. Well, I'm going to give you a 20-minute warning to get the quiz, to get ready for the quiz, should I say. I want to host. I'm going to put the link in so you can all start to join. But I won't start it for another 15 minutes or so. And remember, there are prizes at stake, people, here for this quiz. So the link I've just posted in chat. See how many we can get. QC says, have you hit the 4K hours mark yet? Silver Creek says, not yet. It's building up fast though. Oh, you're still not hit. I would have thought with your daily shorts, you'd have been way into it by now. Just email Northern Monk promoting your stream and where you streamed their things. Yes, so as I was saying, my favourite beer ever in this experiment of trying new craft ales is definitely the Heathen. It's delicious. Buy yours at a Sainsbury's and you know the other thing, I was moaning that I found this in Morrison's, which is a supermarket over here, and thought, that's nice, and it was like £4 a can. And I was getting all upset about it. I mean, £4 a can. It's like London prices for beer. £4 for a can of beer, that's ridiculous. And then they put it up to £4.50, and it got even more ridiculous. I found it in Sainsbury's, of all places, Sainsbury's. So in the tier list of supermarkets, Morrison's is here and Sainsbury's is here. It's only £3.50 in Sainsbury's. Who knew? Anyway, enough about my impending alcoholism. So if you need to get up to the 4,000 hours, you need to make a few long form videos, and live streams are always good for that kind of thing as well. If you have you got a longer video that you think this is a good video, and we can send some people over, feel free to link it in the chat, and people can bookmark that, and after they've watched this, go and watch that video, and we'll see if we can bump your hours up. No other conversation apart from poor communication reminded me of my warranty rights. It was took very lightly in my opinion. Yeah, it's not good, is it? Hopefully you got house insurance cover anyway or anything like that. I've had an OA tank for about 3 years now and I can't fault. Yeah, mine was good as well. I'm 2 away from 1,200 subs. It's happening fast and I welcome it with open arms. I learned a lot from this amazing gent here. Who? One day I want to grow up and be as good at editing as he is. So what you need to do is one day you want to grow up and have more time to spend on your editing. Because I was looking back at one of my old videos earlier and I was like, wow, that's dead clever. I wonder how he did that. And then I thought, hang on, that's my video. How did I do that? And it is just spending more time and having more ideas. And thinking. The number one thing, so my number one tip for anyone starting out on a YouTube channel, and it's something I fall foul of myself, but I have to keep reminding myself, is when you're making a video, if you're talking about a thing, show the thing. So you'll see on all these TubeBuddy or vidIQ or whatever it is, it's all about, oh, get your thumbnail right, get your title right. All very important things. Show your face. Again, very important things. But if I'm talking about an Ember Tetra and I go, look, I've got Ember Tetras in this tank here, and then I start talking to you about Ember Tetras, you don't want this shot. You want this shot to set it up and then film the Ember Tetras afterwards. Do some B-roll. Spend hours trying to get good B-roll of that fish and then cut that in while you're talking about them. It just... Now, just think about that, and the next time you watch a video, whether it be from a small channel, from a big channel like Aquarium Co-op or whatever it might be, once you think about that and then watch a video, you'll see the ones that do it and the ones that don't, and you'll think, that's why that's crap and that's why that's good. And I do it all the time. The same for me is I'll often think, oh, I've been talking about a snakehead for 30 seconds and I haven't actually got any footage of a snakehead. It'll be alright, I'll just move on to the next bit. Stop, make the effort, go back and film the thing and put it in. Even if it's only 10 seconds of the snakehead, it makes so much more difference to the viewer because you think, what is he on about? Because it used to be a thing, Aquarium Co-op used to do this all the time in the olden days, like 4 years ago or whenever. I remember watching Aquarium Co-op when he had fewer subscribers than I do now. And it used to always annoy me that he would be talking about something. And I didn't realise this was the thing that was annoying me. And it was the same with lots of creators in lots of fields, not just fish things. They'll be talking about something. So if it's a fish creator, they'll be saying, oh yeah, I've got... You see, the difference between a cardinal tetra and a neon tetra is the red line doesn't go... And you're like, what? Am I going to have to go and Google this now to see a picture of what you're talking about? And then when they started showing that thing when they were talking about it, you're like, of course, it's obvious. And whether it's something about cars, something about cooking, whatever it is, if the person's talking about a thing and they show the thing, it's so much more engaging. And keeping people on your video because you're showing them what they need to see rather than clicking away to go and look something up triggers the algorithm. That's not a thing, but it does. Keeping people engaged in your content then makes YouTube go, hang on, more people are watching this than usual, I'll show it to more people, and then you get that snowball effect. So sorry about the rant all about how to how to make YouTube videos from the guy who only has 14,000 subscribers or whatever it is. It's just something that annoys me when I watch creators that are really good in many cases, and then that's the one thing that lets them down. Aquarium Adventure. Since the 60s, I feed live foods, mostly Artemia and homemade foods similar to Mark Weiss formula. Not a fan of processed foods. Well, I can't get better than live foods. Quick question: can one-day-old younglings of zebra danio survive on spirulina and fish flour, or nothing without Artemia? Right. Whoa. Right. Let me try that one again. Can one-day-old younglings of zebra danio survive on spirulina and fish flour, or nothing without Artemia? Brine shrimp. So, 1 day old zebra danio fry. Can they survive on spirulina and fish flour? So fish flour, that's a term I've not heard, so I don't know what that means. I'm thinking you mean like crushed up flake and things like that, or the dust that you get from fish foods. Yes, but 1 day old zebra danio fry generally are going to be surviving on things like infusoria and the microorganisms that will live in a mature tank anyway, rather than anything you're feeding. They're just going to be a bit too big. So a mature tank is what I would say would be the main thing there. But ground up anything is a good additive. Even baby brine shrimp for 1 day old might be a bit too small. Oh, look at this. I did not expect to see this. Robert Kerr, my dad. Big decision, watch my son or the master. I'm assuming there's a commercial or a break in play, or it's rained off or something, that you're here watching this rather than the golf. Right, we're getting to the 10 minutes to go before we get to quiz time. There are 12 players lined up and ready. It seems to work better if you have a second device. And remember, you're playing on the quiz, so you're clicking the link and playing there rather than answering the questions in chat. So I see a lot of people saying, oh yeah, B. Don't tell me. I know the answer. I wrote the quiz. I had queries over the cabinet from the start as well. So I did not get a cabinet. I got the steel framed cabinet that I already had. It was sagging at the front between the supports and the doors, and I was told it was fine. I can send you the photos of this also. I'd appreciate, yeah, by all means. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. If you can watch someone's videos, watch them in 2 times speed. There's a video by the Spiffing Brit about watching videos in 2 times speed, and it kind of triggers the algorithm. I don't know if it's been caught yet or not, but it's worth it. Oh, pardon me, this one's a bit gassy. Edinburgh has a nice zoo. Yeah, it does. It's Glasgow still got a zoo. It used to have a zoo. Because I used to go to it when I was a kid. No. The zoo closed in 2000. But there are small animal places like Calder Glen Zoo and things like that. But yeah, Glasgow Zoo has the penguins and the pandas and all that kind of stuff. But like I say, if you're going to go up there, Glasgow and Edinburgh are only half an hour away on the train. You might as well try it. I paid £9.50 for a glass of wine up north. What? Was it served in a golden glass that you got to keep? Never. It says I need a pin. You do need a pin. The pin is part of the link. The pin is, for anyone who needs the pin, I can't see that. Whatever it was, I just put in the chat. 9 something. But if you just click the link, so if I copy this link, it should take you directly in to the quiz. Because the pin's the end of that link. Sorry, that made me laugh. Sharpie says, my Clown Pleco profile video has no footage of Clown Plecos, which is a highly accurate part of keeping Clown Plecos. Yes, exactly. If you're going to do Plecos, then all that earlier advice out the window. In fact, you should just make that the start of every video. So, we're going to do a species profile of X Pleco. Just throw money away, because you're never going to see the things. Is lower pH 4.6 is okay for discus? Well, lower pH, yes. 4.6 is a little bit extreme, though. No, something's wrong with your water. A lot of people have success with fishies feeding on rapashi. It depends on the fish. I think Infusoria is better than brown shrimp. Yes, so for very small fish, Infusoria, and I'm using that as a catch-all term for all the kind of biologicals that you have in a mature tank. They're just so much more available than a brine shrimp. So even a baby brine shrimp is still quite a big mouthful for a fry. Chat's now gone mental again. Started farting about all over the place. I have a large double-room cellar with concrete floors and Victorian bricked walls. Should I move myself and tanks down there? I recently cleaned up and damp-proofed, says Mortless Aaron. You could do. You don't have to. There's no rules saying you must keep your fish tanks in the basement. But a cellar is as good a place as any. Nom 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 nom. Right, 5-minute warning, 5-minute warning. Here is the link. Yet again, we have 16 players lined up and ready. Was that the OA stand? I missed the conversation and now concerned. It was the OA stand that we were talking about, Scott. So clearly Chris has had a bad experience. I'm not willing to say that it's indicative because I've had a good experience, and the only reason I went with them is because lots of people recommended them after their good experiences. What's not so encouraging is that if he's had such problems making it right. So I always say that with any company, mistakes will be made. So you're always going to have bad, and a good company defines itself by its customer service. So the problem isn't whether something goes wrong or something goes bad. The problem is how they handle that and make it better. And it sounds like that's where they've let themselves down. Right, let me see if I can catch up. What annoys me about some advice videos is the waffle at the beginning about themselves. 9 times out of 10 I've lost the will to live before they get to the advice. Yours are not in this category, by the way. I bet you some of mine have been in that category. What do I need to do? Says Big Dog. You need to click this link and you will be in the quiz. We're up to 20 players now, getting ready to go in a couple of minutes. Do water change every day is bad for discus? Question mark. It's not bad for discus, it's just not necessarily required. I think I've talked about this many times. You have your experience of keeping your fish. If it's discus, specifically discus, I'm now down to once a week water changes. As much as I've been going, no, you need to water change. water changes are of great benefit to discus specifically. But if you're not keeping showfish, if you're not interested in having that extra half inch bigger than everyone else, you don't need to be quite as anally retentive as the rest of the discus keeping world. If you're breeding, if you're showing fish, if you're growing fish, then yes, water change, water change, water change. If you're just having a nice discus tank, still water change, just it doesn't have to be daily. How's the energy saving going on in the discus tank? Have you done other things besides the lights? I have put in some extra insulation. I have, in fact, let's have a look because it's been warm here the last couple of days. I put in some extra insulation. I've insulated the sump, the pipes, the back of the tank. Where is it? Tap hole. So I've not done much since then. But I've taken it down from what's that? From 12 to kind of 8 kilowatt hours per day. So I think we're moving into that time of the year when it's going to be a little bit more manageable. Evening all, says Juggler, who's a bit late. I hope you've not chopped your hand off or whatever it was you were doing with yourself. Hope you're okay. The first question photo looks like a poo. Right, 26 players. I think this might be a record. Right, are we ready, everyone? We're getting ready to go. We're going to move over to the small face, and I'm going to try and do that thing where I pretend to be, to help me edit it for the second channel, the little face. Let's move that over there a wee bit so we can see that a little bit easier. Let me see. Welcome everyone to the Aquarium Adventures Weekly Quiz. This is where we have a quiz of fishy questions and non-fishy questions for everyone to have a chance of winning. This week is Easter, so there might be a few Eastery questions in there. And remember, the questions are what I think is true, not necessarily what is true, so you might have to think what my brain thinks. So, we will get cracking right away and start with question number 1. That's what Sour Creek Aquatics said, looks like a poo. 76% of Americans eat what part of an Easter bunny first? The tail, the feet, the ears, or the nose? What part of the Easter bunny do the Americans eat first? I'm sure it's not just Americans, but, the thing I found was talking about Americans. It is, of course, unless you're a complete mentalist, the ears. Who doesn't eat the ears first? Surely not. Razor clams can bury themselves at a speed of 1 centimetre per minute, 10 centimetres per minute, 10 centimetres per hour, 1 metre per hour. And remember, your points are awarded on the speed of your answer as well as the correctness of your answer. So it doesn't matter how quick you are if you're wrong. You have to be correct. So it is 1 centimetre per minute. Decorating Easter eggs was a tradition started in Russia, USA, Turkey, and Ukraine. Where did they start the tradition of decorating Easter eggs? Why Easter eggs? What's an egg got to do with Easter? I don't know. Ukraine is the answer. The snailfish, Pseudoloperas, that word there, broke a record this week. What was it? Was it the oldest fish at 800 plus years? The deepest living fish captured at 8 kilometres plus? The fastest gestation at 2 days? Or the boniest fish at 1300 plus bones? Oldest, deepest, fastest, boniest. Clark's mini fish room is taking an early lead. It's the deepest living fish, captured at 8,000 metres. Why do we celebrate Easter by eating a chocolate rabbits? Is it A, bunnies denote fertility and new life in the Bible? B, German folk tales of an egg-laying rabbit? C, a mistake at a chocolate factory using the wrong mould? Or D, a combination of all of these? Who knows? It's a combination of all of them. They're all true. Reports this month of diners experiencing the effects of, a big word, ichthyoliotoxism after eating fish. What is it? Ichthyoliotoxism. It's the loss of hearing for 24 hours, tripping balls for 3 days, explosive diarrhea for a week, or blindness for 8 hours. Which of those things is caused by ichthyoliotoxism? It's tripping balls for 3 days, and that was the actual term used in a scientific journal. How many Easter eggs are sold in the UK each year? 55 million, 80 million, 140 million, or 210 million? How many Easter eggs are sold in the UK each year? Now, you're all having an argument about rabbits or hares when you could be answering questions. It's 80 million. How many UK households in 2011, because that's when the survey I found this from was written, own pet fish? Is it 2.2 million, 3.9 million, 5 million, or 12.2 million? House of Sass is making a storm up the leaderboard, closely followed by Clark's Mini Fish Room, Rye, Silver, Mark, Catfish, and Shadow, only just making it onto the leaderboard this week. How many UK households? 3.9 million. Which of these does the Vatican not classify as a fish? A capybara, a beaver, a duck, or a salmon? We're going to move on to my favourite beer, Northern Monk. Heathen. What do those crazy folks at the Vatican not classify as a fish? It's salmon. The only fish on the list. We can talk about that later. Crucian carp can survive frozen winters in part due to A, 2 layers of scales insulating them, B, huddling together for warmth, C, a blood alcohol level higher than the drink drive limit, or D, being unable to tell how cold they are. They just don't know they're cold, so refuse to worry about it. They're drunk, they huddle with their mates, or they have extra layers of scales. They have a high blood alcohol level, stopping them from freezing. The Pony Express, recruiting young orphans willing to risk death daily to deliver mail, started this week in which year? 1840, 1855, 1860, or 1880? That was literally the first recruiting advert for the Pony Express. Wanted young men no older than 18 years, willing to risk death daily, preferably orphans. They started in 1860. Who decided which day Easter would be celebrated? God, Jesus, Roman Emperor Constantine, or Pope St. Peter? Who decided which day Easter would be celebrated? Technically, it could be any of them, I suppose. It was the Roman Emperor Constantine, the first one to become a Christian. What is this deep sea shark? Chlamydiosaurus? No, Chlamydiocyclurus anguleus, more commonly known as a jellied shark, a gummy shark, a sharkfish, or a frilled shark? Shark question just for Nabokov fan. Texas question for Silver. I'll look out for my number one, guys. It's a frilled shark. Another shark question. An ancient shark with paired spines, bony armour is our earliest jawed ancestor, dating back how many years? 239 million years. This was the discovery made this week, that's why I included it. 439 million years, 639 million years, or 139 million years. 2 shark questions. I'm too good to you shark fans. Our earliest jawed ancestor, 439 million years. Which of these Easter facts is true? It is illegal to sing in France on Easter Sunday. It is illegal to dance in Germany on Good Friday. It is illegal to bathe in Sweden on Good Friday, or it is illegal to smoke in Holland on Easter Sunday. Which of these is true? There's a 1 point difference at the top of the leaderboard between House of Sass and Clark's Mini Fish Room. Catfish and Martin L coming in close behind. It is illegal to dance in Germany on Good Friday. What did California classify as a fish recently to afford them the same protections? Bumblebee, hawk moth, earthworm, or rattlesnake? Still 1 point separating House of Sass and Clark's Mini Fish Room with 4 questions to go. Ant and Juggler got some making up to do. It is the bumblebee. What percentage of fish keepers have experienced fish breeding in their aquarium? Oh, that's how that works. So I've included the link to the article I took this from. I didn't realise it would post it as part of the question. So you can either Google it that quickly or make a guess. What percentage of fish keepers have experienced fish breeding in their aquarium? Now this is all fish keepers. But interestingly, the graph goes like this. The longer you keep fish, the more often you experience them breeding. I thought that was quite obvious, really, but interesting as well. 90%. 90% of fish keepers have experienced fish breeding in their aquariums. This week in 1320, Scotland sent a letter to the Pope asking for recognition of independence and Robert the Bruce as king. This was known as the Declaration of Stirling, the Declaration of Glasgow, the Declaration of Falkirk, or the Declaration of Arbroath. Which is it? Proud Scots out there should know this one. It's the Declaration of Arbroath. The first modern Olympics was held this week in which year? 1902, 1894, 1896, 1898. So we're getting into the realm of guessing here, hopefully. It was, of course, 1896. And last question. How many cream eggs are produced every day? Cream eggs for my American friends, because I don't know if you have them there. I wonder. They're, I don't know how to say it any other way than they're a cream egg. A chocolate egg with stuff inside. I don't know. Is it 1.5 million, 150,000, 15,000, or 555,000? It's unbelievably 1.5 million. So how have we done? We have a winner. House of Sass with 237 points takes it by 1 point from Clark's Mini Fish Room, who is 6 ahead of Martin L, who is 27 ahead of Juggler. Juggler, who's obviously injured, making a storming top into the top 5 there. Catfish in 5th place. Then we have Ant, JSauce, Nabokov, Shadow, a shadow of his former self. He's won the last 2 weeks running. Way down there, Silver again, a good effort. Christine, Tiskin, Cinema Reef, all the way down to the bottom for Den P, and Ray Smoggy, who obviously couldn't get it to work. But thank you everyone, and congratulations once again to House of Sass. So House of Sass, get in touch, send me an email up here. Get out of the way, stupid microphone. Send me an email up. It's not there, is it? Try that again. Send me an email at graham@aquariumadventures.co.uk. Let me know what you'd like. You can have some Fluval fish food, some of my fish foods, stickers, whatever you want, or just say whatever. I'll send you something. If you tell me what kind of fish you keep, I'll see if I can match something up. Tell me your address. I don't know why I have to keep telling people this. If you want me to send you something, I need your address. Send me your address and I'll send you some stuff. Congratulations though, and if you've joined us for the second channel and you've just here for the quiz, if you want to see any other stuff, there'll be links down below for the main channel. You can go and watch some other videos. Thank you. Bye bye. I don't know why I did that. Right, now we've got rid of all of them, we can get back to the main thing. So I was seeing lots of stuff. I'm in the States, is that okay? No, that's not okay. Yeah, no. It would cost me more to send you the thing than a month's worth of YouTube earnings, so I'm afraid not. That was one of the rules that I said up front. You have to be in the UK to win the prize, or you nominate someone, or we double it for next week for another winner. Or, I don't know, if you want like an aquarium co-op voucher, I'll buy you one of them instead. So, that's your choices. I can give you it'll be like, I don't know, $10 or something like that. I'll send you a $10 voucher, or you can nominate someone, or let it ride, and we have a double prize next week. Them's your options. But I ain't posting you yet. I apologise. Energy saving needs to become a whole home concept. I completely agree, Evan. I don't mind heating my discus tank because I live in Canada and I heat my home 8 months of the year anyway. That's the thing. So, the reason it's costing me so much is because my home is so woefully inefficient at heating itself, or retaining heat. It's not insulated well. I've not placed the tank well. The tank is in a hallway which is open to the upstairs, to the front door, to it's the worst possible position. I'm trying to keep something that wants to be cold hot, and that's ridiculous. If it was a well insulated home and I was in the living room, it's not a problem. But this house is absolutely freezing. The house is not insulated at all. We're going through a whole thing to try and get it insulated. So I'm very much an outlier here in why my tank is costing so much to run. If your home is well insulated, and why wouldn't you be doing that with the cost of energy these days anyway, it should be nowhere near as much costing you that much to run your discus tank as me. I saved the rabbit for months. I don't want to kill a chocolate rabbit. To be fair, it's already dead. Just don't eat the bunny eggs. Yeah, because I don't get it. I know these are all like a mixture of pagan festivals smooshed with Christian ideals, smooshed with retailers wanting to sell chocolate, but in what world does a man apparently dying and coming back to life, well, let's mark that with a rabbit that shits chocolate eggs, but we'll hide the eggs and wear a hat. That sounds like a good idea. What drugs were they smoking when they came up with that kind of thing? Eggs are a symbol of birth. Yeah, but why? And? I just don't get it. I know they are. It's just weird. I only know a lot of this because I've been looking into it so far, and it does seem like the whole thing was... So, Easter. Do you know why it's called Easter? It's not because... It was like some pagan festival that they used to have called Easter, and they went, do you think we could use this for the whole Jesus dying thing? Yeah, let's use that. Okay, we'll make it a Christian festival. Can we work rabbits into this somehow? Why? I don't know, I just like rabbits and chocolate. Alright then. What about eggs? We'll say it's to do with rebirth. What's that got to do with anything? He wasn't reborn. He just came out of a hole in the ground. I don't know. Should have been a chrysalis or a cocoon. Yeah. There's so many more better ways. I don't get it. I don't get it. Mickey's in. Good evening, Mickey. Had an op today. Oh, hopefully nothing too serious. Hope you're alright. The rabbit and the egg is a pagan symbol for fertility. Okay, fertility. What's that got to do with some dude apparently dying and coming back to life? It's not fertile. Not knocking it, just history. Also, not knocking it, just the history. Just, let's be honest, it's about selling chocolate. Is it more the hair for fertility? I know the hair is connected for fertility. Well, that's what I've seen all over the place. It's all about fertility. I'm like, what is Jesus, some kind of mad shagger? Why have we got... What's it... I don't know. Capybara is not a fish. If you're Catholic, capybara is a fish. As is a duck. As is... what was the other one? A beaver. The Catholic Church has classified all them as fish. That answer was to do with... So when it was Lent or any times when you couldn't... So you know how the whole fish on a Friday thing... If there wasn't enough fish around, they were like, we're getting a bit hungry. Is there any way... We've got loads of these things. So there's loads of these beavers here. And we've got capybaras up the wazoo. Could we just call them fish and then eat them? And the church was like, yeah, go on then. Brilliant. I'll have you for dinner on a Friday. So it was all about the abundance of capybara, beavers, etc., classifying them as fish, which is different to the Californian question, which was all about affording bees the same protections as fish. So fish and game made it legal to hunt and illegal to move, disturb nests, all that kind of thing. But there was nothing about bees, and they started to go, hang on, bees are quite important. Bees are now fish, therefore you can't... So it was easier to classify a bee as a fish than it was to introduce new laws protecting bees in the same way that we protect fish. Humans are mental. Humans are mental. I think that's easier. I know Easter is worked out according to the moon. That's as far as I got as well. Yes. So the reason the reason Easter moves around is to do with the cycles of the moon. So that's how they... And again, that's probably back to a pagan thing. Sharpies all over it. The pagans! That's the answer to everything. Chlamydia shark. So my... yeah. The name of that shark was Chlamydia shark. Or something like that. Wasn't it? What can we do here? Oh, do you know what I found? I found the insights button. So we can see who got what questions right and what questions wrong. So we embarrassed some people. 76% of Americans eat what part of an Easter bunny first? Only 3 people got that wrong. Cinema Reef, Mark and Gas Musk. They are the weirdos that don't eat their ears first. Razor clams can bury themselves at a speed of... Oh, quite a few people got that one wrong. Decorating Easter eggs started in Ukraine. Quite a few people got that one wrong. The snailfish Pseudoloparis Bailey. Well, most people got that one right, I think. Why do we celebrate Easter by eating chocolate rabbits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people got that wrong. But that could be because you just pressed whatever one you thought was right because they were all right. Oh, this one, most people got foxed by this one as well. Reports this month of diners experiencing the effects of ichthyolienotoxism. That's a word. After eating fish. This was literally described. I need to find the paper. See if I can find it. But it was literally described in, I think it was, you know, that website, I Fucking Love Science. The headline was, people eat fish, trip balls for 3 days. I thought, I've got to work this into a question somehow. So I can see why I fueled a few of you with that one. How many Easter eggs are sold? How many... Oh God, most people get most questions wrong. Very few of you get that one. Which of these does the Vatican not classify as a fish? Only Martin, Red Laser and Juggler got that one right. Christian carp can survive frozen winters in part due to being pissed. Ant was fastest. Oh, like everyone, you get a little crown for answering first and fastest and correctest. This is quite good. I need to look at this more often. Pony Express, Ant got that one. Who decided which day Easter would be celebrated? Scott got that one. Well, almost, well, 50-50 I guess. I was surprised by that one, that a Roman emperor would be the person to decide which day Easter was. Here's the shark with the STD, which was the chlamydia shark. That's what I read that as well. Chlamydia and I wanted to put that as one of the options. What is it most commonly known as? The STD shark. Now, Nabokov, did you get your shark question right? You did. An ancient shark with paired spines and bony armour is our earliest jawed ancestor. Did our shark expert get that one right? No, they didn't. Nabokov, you got that one wrong. So hopefully you've learned a new shark fact this week. Which of these Easter facts is true? Not many people got that one right. Most people got the B one right. Well, only 3 people got the 90% of Aquarium's question right. Oh, look at... Right, did my Scottish people get that one right? Christine got it right. Martin, Tiskin. Where's Brian? Or did you just give up, not play this week? First modern Olympics, a few got that one right. How many cream eggs are produced every day? I thought that was a ridiculous amount of cream eggs to be produced every day. I'm surprised you got that one right. I'm surprised so many of you got that one right. Political loopholes to protect the animals. Exactly. You'd think you'd just be able to make it a law to say, look, bees are quite important. Let's not kill them all, guys. No, let's call them a fish instead. Alright. Oh, druids technically are pagan. Oh, so is this a druid versus pagan? The argument I've missed. Whatever. Christians nicked them all out. Yeah, Christians just seem to have gone, yo, you look like you're having fun. What are you doing? Oh, we're celebrating. We're now going to call that Christmas and pretend we invented that. Is that alright? Alright. Ooh. Okay, we're getting into theological stuff that I don't get. I remember Cadbury's tasting better when I was a kid. They've probably changed all the recipes since then. Oh my god, I'm so far behind on all the questions. Right, okay, I'll try and catch up. Heads off sass. Yay! Well done. I even had some Scottish questions, Brian, and you were too busy cooking to do that. So cream eggs are worldwide. Excellent. What about your Spreadshirt? Is that still... Oh yeah, Spreadshirt still works. Craig Thompson finally got my hoodie today from the 15,000 live. Cheers, Graham. Cheers, Phil, really. I love cream eggs. I'd eat them all year round. Followed closely by, those eggs are gross. Question, is eating the bunny eggs the same as eating yellow snow? Very similar, yes. Right, okay, let me see. Jew here, I'd never understand the rabbit and the eggs thing. Yeah, even the explanations about the rabbit and the eggs thing doesn't make me understand the rabbit and the egg thing. And not a Jew, technically a Christian, I suppose, but every time I've said, oh, what's the thing with the rabbit? Oh, well, it's actually a hare and it represents fertility. Okay, what's that got to do with the price of meat? Are rabbit eggs basically what I call chocolate drops? I avoid eating them. My guinea pig. Yes, so the rabbit eggs are the same as the guinea pig droppings, shall we say, just a little bit bigger. Eggs for new beginnings in spring. Well, you could easily say daffodils or tulips. It just feels like we're shoehorning explanations into things. Capybara is the largest rodent on the planet. I bet you don't believe in Santa. Of course I do. Santa's the one that gives me extra presents every year. Right, correct. It was easier to use the existing program and add the bee as an aquatic thing than it was to pass a new bill and get it actually passed without ever the date marking. Yeah, I assumed that was the case, but what a sad state of affairs when it's easier to call a bee a fish than recognise the importance of a bee and protect it. Damn, you can see what I got wrong. Yeah, so maybe once a week we'll pick someone and say, right, let's see how they did. Trip balls for 3 days was definitely something Graham would say, so that was the answer. I did not even say that. That was the headline of the article that I found about it. But yeah, I suppose. I know alcohol and glucose has a lower freezing point, so it's a common solution, but also carp can go anaerobic really well. Yeah, so lots of carp. So your common carps, your grass carps, your mirror carp, that's the word I was looking for. Most carp can handle really cold and freezing temperatures, but the crucian carp you can actually freeze. Not freeze solid, that hasn't been proven yet, but properly freeze. And because it has some weird thing in its physiology where it's basically pissed constantly, its bloodstream is 20% alcohol or something like that, it goes into this kind of stasis and can be woken up again. What do my friends across the pond think about the current state of affairs in the good old US of A? I think we're coming to the realisation that things this side of the pond aren't all that much better. It was nice to see. I watched a video today about. So you have somebody over there called, what's her name? A blonde lady who likes to scream and shout and basically talk nonsense. Every clip I've ever seen of her has been, it's the setup to making a fool of this lady, which I feel is like a bit harsh. But some of the things she says, I'm like, oh, bloody hell, you deserve it. It was her, Marjorie Taylor something or other. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know. She's like the ultimate. So this is a completely uneducated opinion, uneducated view of someone who doesn't follow American politics that closely whatsoever. She's basically a housewife who's got nothing better to do and has decided to become Queen of the Karens and take the most polarising position on any opinion, because any kind of focus is better than nothing. So our equivalent would be Nadine Dorries, who's like, two short planks are insulted by comparisons with thickness of between Nadine Dorries and themselves. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think that's right, I don't know, you might know who I'm talking about, seems to be the American equivalent of that, who pisses all over Nadine Dorries. It's like, you think you're an idiot? This is how to be an idiot. And it's just, you're like, oh, the humans are coming out with this stuff and you've elected them? Why is this a thing? So she had turned up at the Trump, whatever it is, arresting, impeachment, whatever it was, arraignment, whatever it was, and was filmed walking through it. So like they were trying to make everybody walk in like a back way so they wouldn't be seen, but she wanted to be seen, which is the number one. It's like a screaming red alert. Don't give this person any power. They only care about being seen. But anyway, they wanted to be seen. And 90% of the people were like, oh, you're an idiot. Oh, we hate you. Oh, you're rubbish. Oh, you're terrible. And like one person had the tiniest Trump flag. And she was like, see, it validates me. I'm like, no, everyone else thinks you're an idiot. So that's my take on American politics at the moment, is it's just like our politics, but on steroids. And none of it's good. What do they say? Never talk politics on a podcast. It's off by 200 million years. More importantly, do Scots like Bravehearts? So, yes. Scots fit into two camps in my experience. One who love Braveheart and recognise that it's mostly made up and not really that accurate, and Scots who love Braveheart and think it's a documentary rather than a film. So I've had two experiences in my life of going to the cinema and at the end everyone standing up and clapping and cheering. First one was Braveheart, the second one was Spider-Man. You know, when Spider-Man got all the other Spider-Mans to come in, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, people were whooping in the cinema and I was like, oh my god, I've not seen this since Braveheart. So there you go. Look at this, a fishy question. Big Dog 35, the ammonia in the tank is 3 parts per million. What do I need to do? A massive water change. Hope that helps. Braveheart, a load of bollocks for the hard of thought. But Fish question from Nabokov. So I moved the male in with the female swords. When I put the female I had removed from activity back into the tank, she is now looking preggo. Hormones in the water and stored materials. Most live bearers can store sperm or the equivalent, fishy equivalent. So guppies that haven't been with males for months can still be pregnant. Nabokov fan says, essentially, fix the biological filtration and water change. Find the ammonia source. I'd love to see you eat a daffodil or a tulip. I'd eat a chocolate one. I wouldn't eat a rabbit. I wouldn't just grab a rabbit and go, I'm going to eat your ears. I might, but you know. Right, I'm miles behind again. Sorry. Generation Xer, I have no idea what Discord is. Well, type that into a browser and you won't be the only one. I also am one of them. It takes me a while to figure these things out, but yeah, someone will help you out. If you just say, hello, I'm here, we'll get you in. It's AOL chat, but without this. There you go. It is. It's like, it's an old-fashioned message board. It's an old-fashioned forum with helpful people rather than mentalists that you get on Facebook and things like that. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, I think that's what I said, wasn't it? I got there in the end. She's a weirdo, whatever. Trust me, you don't want to trigger the robots to attack the channel. Lauren Bobert. I've not heard of that one. Do Scots like Shrek? As far as I know, yes. So, mostly because everyone likes Shrek. Who couldn't like Shrek? But Mike Myers' mother was Scottish, I think, so we kind of claim him as our own. You can cook and eat a rabbit and eggs, but you can't eat a daffodil or a tulip. Yeah, but the rabbit that we're eating is made of chocolate. If you make me a daffodil out of chocolate, I will eat that daffodil. Have you seen Outlaw King on Netflix? Oh, I'm not sure I have. Let's have a look. I need some help sometimes to remember what I have and haven't seen. Is that a film or is it a TV show? The untold true story of Robert the Bruce, who transformed from... I've not seen that, but I will watch that. It's got Chris Pine in it as well, quite like him. No, I haven't seen that one, sorry. Outlaw King wasn't bad apart from Captain Kirk being the Bruce. What? Sometimes I have no idea what you're talking about. Ah, right. Had to deal with the neighbours. They were jumping over the fence into our garden and throwing balls across. If the fence broke, we'd get in trouble. That's why when you live in rented accommodation, you need an air rifle. But my point is they made food into food, not non-food into food. Okay. No, I disagree. I'm not having any of this. So, We used rabbits because rabbits are fertile and part of spring, rather than tulips or daffodils. Okay, what else is part of spring that is edible? There's a thing about potatoes as well, because you plant your first, or you dig up your first potatoes on the Easter weekend. So we could have potatoes, which is a food that you could eat. And potatoes make chips, and chips are awesome. Chocolate chips, even better. You could use chickens, because chicks, lamb, spring lambs. Lamb's delicious. A chocolate lamb, even more delicious. Why did we pick rabbits? It makes no sense. That's all I'm saying. Is it like the Abraham Lincoln biopic where they went into his vampire hunting period? I watched that. That was good, that. Ever heard the phrase breed like rabbits? I have, but what's that got to do with Easter? Are we meant to have more sex during Easter? Did Jesus get jiggy over Easter? No. He died and was reborn. No one had sex to make that happen, as far as I'm aware. Sorry, God. Spring onions, yes. They're edible. Well, chocolate ones would be much nicer. Are discus easier to... There we go. Let's have a fishy question. Are discus easier to keep now than back in the 70s? I think so. I think they have effectively been domesticated, for want of a better term, from what I know, having spoken to people who did keep discus back in the 70s. Because, you know, I was only made in 1977, so I wasn't keeping discus then. But speaking to those people, it was RO water, it was remineralising water, it was keeping wild discus that did not want to be kept there. Domesticated discus just weren't really a thing yet. And even if they were, it was so much more tougher. But fast answer, yes. There are people keeping discus now, and I'm probably one of them now, that aren't doing all that much different to any other fish that they would keep. I'm doing weekly water changes. Alright, I'm feeding them better things. I'm doing big weekly water changes, but it's not that much harder than any other fish. Aaron Bosworth Lomax currently sat putting together slate caves from our ancestors. Oh, that was something I was going to put in the quiz. Apparently there's new ancestress, like mega ancestress. Is this a thing? Do people know about this? I found this. God, I'm not going to be able to find it now, am I? In fact, I think it might have been you that put me onto it. Freshwater Ichthyology had a link to someone else who had a fish shop about learning about ancestress and keeping ancestress. And they had a post about, oh, look at these giant ancestress people keep talking about. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. Chocolate Santas, why not? Yes, this is essentially the point of Easter and any ceremonies and holidays and celebrations. Buy stuff. Now, is it because somebody has made an excuse to buy things, or somebody has taken a thing and made it an excuse to buy things? That's when it goes one way or the other. It's like, oh, Christmas is so commercialised now. Well, it is, but I enjoy that. Easter is so commercialised. It's all about eggs. Alright, I'm fine with it. Don't try and sell me that it's because it's a fertility thing. It's just a thing to sell chocolate. By the way, you can eat tulips, petals and bulbs. There you go. Nah, rabbits and eggs. Rabbits and eggs. Jesus died so we could eat chocolate eggs and buns. And tea cakes with extra bits on. Because that's a thing. You're much larger in height than I imagined. Sorry, I never mentioned this before. Thank you. I'm all of 6 feet tall. Megala ancestris has been around for ages. So, what was it? Do you know what I'm talking about? This, it was someone you put me onto it. She runs a fish shop. She... why can I not find it now? I'll come back to it. Question. Right. What is your favourite shark? The big teethy scary ones or the whale sharks? Big teethy scary ones or question mark? Whale sharks are amazing. Whale sharks are amazing. They're amazing because of the size, I think, more than anything else. They're not like a particularly aggressive shark or anything like that. I still think it's not really a shark. So megalodons. So I think they are awesome. Obviously extinct. Obviously, or are they? It's like a great white shark times 10. It's just much bigger, much scarier, much... It sounded cool. We can find fossils and teeth and stuff from Megalodon. Used to love reading books about it with my kid when he was a baby. He was into Megalodons, he loved it. I wish they were around. So from that point of view, it's more the teethy ones, I think. They're cool. And then you've got your great whites, your tiger sharks and stuff like that, where they're not really trying to kill you all the time. They just look like they've got... They kind of look like they want to kill you all the time. The sharks that aren't sharks, and I get it, because most fish, the red-tailed black shark, the bala shark, the this shark, the that shark, they're not really sharks. They're just trying to live off the shark's cool name. Like the frilly shark. You think, what a stupid name for a shark, the frilly shark. But the more you read about it, you go, it's got how many teeth? 300 teeth. And they're all angled in a certain direction to the one time, once a year, that it catches something, it's not letting go. They're all barbed teeth that it's got. That's a cool morph of evolution, if nothing else. So, teethy shark, but I don't know which one. Now I need some megalobristles. How is the new light and filter going? The new light is going fantastically. The new filter isn't going at all. It's in that box, waiting for me to find a tank to put it in. I'm thinking of so I was going to put it on the bucktooth Tetra tank and move that into the big tank that I've got in the fish room set up, but it's got a weird lip and it's not conducive to an external filter, so gave up on that. Might put it on a discus tank in the fish room, so thinking of moving my old discus display tank into the fish room where it'll be warmer and putting it on that potentially, but for now it's just sat there waiting for me to think of something to do with it. In the bag, Alice Louise. I can't remember. It's definitely a lady. She has a fish shop. She's from the UK. No, this is a Louis Vuitton's handbag thing. This is not the thing I want. You're not the bag I'm looking for. What was the other one? Louise something. Oh, the chat's gone away. Stupid chat. I'm sure it was only today you shared something and I clicked on it and I watched like 4 or 5 videos about plecos and different types, and one of them was about, oh, there's all these big plecos that are being sold. They're ancistrous, but they're being sold as this and that and the other, and you can pay 500 quid for a pair of them. What's a Simnel cake then? I remember these when I was... Do you know what? I remember... That's a lie. I don't remember, but when I was looking up Easter-related facts, I kept finding things going, oh, I remember getting that at school. They would serve this cake or that. And there was a whole thing, and like Easter bonnets and new clothes for Easter and Easter dresses. Not for me, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously these days, but not for me, but for people... Loads of Easter traditions that I was like, I don't remember this, and I do remember it at the same time. So, Simnel cake. Do not remember Simnel cake. Let's have a look at that. Simnel. Easter Simnel cake. Mixed fruit, sultanas, currants, raisins, mixed peels, marzipan. Yeah, loads of different Easter cakes and Sorry, the chat's gone wild again. Azurius oxyrhynchus. That's Sharpie's favourite shark. Is that a mako shark? Which, if my childhood shark memory is right, is the fastest shark. Who knows? Marzipan heaven. Blech. Stupid thing, marzipan. Who's vetting marzipan? No one likes marzipan. I got 4 Labo from the LFS yesterday. Can't wait to see how big they get. Let's have a look and see what this word is. Labio Chryso something or other. Red-tailed black sharks. What is it with Latin names? Why are they so stupidly long and hard to pronounce? Stingray, stingray, da 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 da. Anything can happen in the next half hour. No, it can't, because I need to pee and I'll be going to the toilet soon. I really want freshwater rays that I can experiment on their intelligence with. I didn't include rays in my sharks things because I think rays are pretty cool. Not that I think I want to experiment with their intelligence. I'm like some kind of mad scientist going, ha ha ha, I'm going to devise some scenarios now. But I would like some rays as well. So they'd probably come into my top sharks. Right, people, we are at 22:58. A couple of minutes left. I'm sure someone will be streaming after we are. Let's have a look. Well, maybe not. Yep, Coldwater Aquatics is streaming. If you don't want to watch that, you can go up here and click on the Discord and talk about some stuff. I'll join you in about 10 minutes because I need to go and have a pee. Other than that, hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Lots of chocolate eggs, chocolate rabbits and hares and things that are chocolate that make no sense. But you know, have a fantastic evening. And we'll see you next week. Bye!